Okay, so I'm gonna have to do it. I'm gonna have to do it. What's up, people? What's going on? I'm gonna have to do it. As arrogant as David Carroll is, as arrogant as David Carroll is, he's right. Black folks are dumb. Black folks are dumb. I'm speaking in general terms for the illiterate people who come on my channel threatening me. General does not mean all. I don't know why you guys don't read dictionaries. But anyway, David Carroll says that black men are not the brightest bulb on the tree and they're not the sharpest knives in the drawer. And he is right. Just got done listening to Oshay Duke Jackson vlog. And I like to just say this. That LAR movement guy, he's not smart. He's not a smart guy. And my man Kid Organic said this once. He said that a lot of these guys on YouTube, they have all these followers and this huge subscriber base. It's not because they're smart. It's because they've been on YouTube for a long time to have that following. These guys are not smart. They're not. Now, I was supposed to do my second installment of dumb things that people say, but I'm gonna tie it in with the Oshay Duke Jackson vlog. And the second dumb thing that people say that I don't like is two wrongs don't make it right. Now I'm gonna explain why I don't like it. The two wrongs don't make it right to me is the shaming of the reactor to the reaction, or sorry, the reactor to the action. The first action, the initial action. It's shaming the reactor from reacting to something that was done to them. So they say, hey, if you react, you don't make the situation any better, right? But what they never do is they never condemn the initial wrong act. You never hear them say, hey, the first wrong doesn't make it right. They always point the finger at the person who reacts and says, because you reacted and what you did is considered wrong, you're wrong. And what you did doesn't make the situation right. And what that does is that shields what's the word I'm looking for? The perpetrator, the person who did the first wrong. It shields them from accountability. And that's why I don't like that saying. It's a dumb saying. Because what it does is it gives the illusion that consequences should not happen for things that you do. Now, let me get to this Oshay vlog. Oshay was talking about the situation with the Michael Drecker and the Marquise Glockton. That incident in which Marquise was shot for shoving the white guy. Now, I'm not saying the white guy should have shot him. The white guy didn't have to. He had a choice. Even though he is protected by the stand your ground law, he still didn't have to shoot the guy, to be honest. But the black guy did not have to shove that white guy either. I don't know how many times I have to keep saying this. And just reading the comment section of Oshay's vlog, listen, black folks are done, okay? This is why economically they're crippled. It's because of the thinking of these people. They're stupid. I might get more people threatening me and stuff like that, but that's fine. But they're dumb. Now, I have to give props to the guy, Super Sly. I did a video about him before. I have to give him props this time because he made some valid points, some really good points. I didn't even expect that from him, but he did. He made some really good points. Now, there's a guy called the Uber guy. Now, he's saying he doesn't want to hear anything else, unless the guy is going to jail for to do some time or something like. I'm paraphrasing, and he was saying he was trying to say the white guy was a coward because the black guy was protecting his family or something like that. And I remember clearly he said that the black guy shoved the white guy and the white guy was like a punk or something, and he couldn't get up. Even when the black guy backed off, he couldn't get back up on his feet, but instead he pulled his gun and shoot. Basically, he was trying to say he was a coward. But he did not, under no circumstance, say, hey, this black guy should not have shoved the guy. And I'll tell you why he said that. And I'll tell you right now. The reason, and there was another guy on there too, I forget his name. He was defending, the Marquise and saying, they should get rid of the stand your ground law and this and that, and he shouldn't have shot the black guy, and it's the whole dumb narrative. I can't be. It irritates me when I try to repeat it. But the reason they say this, and the reason they keep defending the female and her boyfriend who got shot is this. I'll tell you why. Black folks love to fight. Yes, they love to fight. Whether it's in Jamaica, Trinidad, I've been to Trinidad, and I'm Jamaican. Or here in America, I lived in the Bronx, I lived in Brooklyn. Black people love to fight. Okay? You have a lot of them going to the gym, taking all those steroids, walking around in Harlem and these places with their chests out like King Kong, trying to intimidate people. They love to fight. But they don't want to deal with the consequences. And that's why they're defending this black guy. There's none of them except Super Sly and Oshay. None of them except those two guys said, hey, but this guy didn't have to shove the white guy. And the female was wrong for parking in a parking spot that clearly said it's for handicaps. Now, LAR movement now, what he said was this, and it was cringeworthy listening to it. He went there talking about, well, white folks do this and white people knock people over and they're loud and if white people park in the wrong parking spaces, then black folks should shoot them too, or black folks should approach them, and if we get in an argument, black folks should shoot them too, and white folks do this and white folks do that. And I have to commend Oshay because Oshay really put him in his place in a nice way and said, hey, brother, we're not talking about white folks right now. We're talking about black folks. And what LAR movement reminded me of when he said that nonsense was this. White people do it too. White people do it too. Who loves to say that? Black females. Black females like to say, oh, but white people do it too. White people do it too. Trying to justify their stupidity. And this is what LAR movement was saying on the vlog, that white folks do it too. I couldn't believe it. I was like, what? Listen, a lot of people need to apologize to David Carroll, because this guy knew exactly what he was talking about and what he is still talking about. A lot of black folks are stupid. Okay? And I don't care about this white supremacy and white folks shooting down black folks in this situation. In this situation I'm talking. Because white supremacy does exist, and a lot of black folks have gotten killed by racist cops and racist white supremacist guys for no reason. I'm not talking about that. In this situation here, this situation is different. Okay, look at this sign. Let's read this sign, shall we? That's a sign. Okay. Let's read this other sign here. This is New York City. Let's read this other sign here. See if you guys can see it. Where is it? Yeah. Monday to Thursday. No parking. 9 a.m. to 10:30 a.m. That's because the street sweeper comes. Okay? This is a hydrant. You shouldn't park here unless you have somebody in the car. And clearly there's a guy in this car. You have to obey the laws. Obey signs. The sign says do not park there because you're not handicapped. This is only for handicapped parking. Why are you parking there? And these people on the panel were totally ignoring that, except Oshay and Super Sly. It's crazy. I remember I was like 22 years old, and I was walking with this girl. It was a girl I was trying to hit. At the time, I didn't hit it yet, but then this was back in Jamaica, right? And there were these group of guys. I was in East Kingston at the time, and there were these group of guys standing on the corner. And one of them, this light-skinned dude, was trying to holler at her. She didn't respond to him. And then he started to hurl insults at her. And I clearly remember him saying something like, you think your boyfriend can protect you because you're walking with your boyfriend, you don't want to answer, or something to that effect. And he mentioned something about a gun. And I looked at him from the corner of my eyes. I didn't turn my face and look at him. I just looked at him from the corner of my eyes to see where he was and to see what he was doing. And I continued to walk with my girl. I held on to her hand. And guess what? I didn't go and shove the guy. I'm alive today in 2018 to talk about it. You see, when you make stupid decisions, you have to prepare to deal with the consequences. You might not like the consequences. People don't like bad consequences. But you have to deal with it when it comes. There's another sign right there. There's signs everywhere. You have to deal with the consequences. And this guy made a bad choice by going out there and shoving the guy. I'm not saying the white guy should have shoved him. But he went out there and shoved the guy. I don't care what these people are saying, that he's trying to protect his family. Trying to protect his family from what? The white guy didn't touch them. He didn't harm them. Now, whether or not this white guy was going around picking trouble and stuff like that, that's one thing. He's wrong for that. Okay? But you should be smarter to ignore that shit. You should be smarter to know that this guy is heckling your girlfriend, but he didn't touch her. He didn't touch her, and you knew this. And even if you didn't know, you ask, baby, are you okay? What happened? Did he touch you? Did he hit you? Okay, guess what? Let's just leave. You get what I'm saying? And again, I saw the video, and there were more parking spaces there. So why did she choose to park in the handicapped parking space? I'll tell you why. Because she said it herself. She has the right to park where she wants to, and she said this on national television. And this is why a lot of you black men are being killed, because you are trying to defend the honor of your black woman. And not all black women are like this. Let me clear that up. But you're trying to defend these females. I told you the other day that this female told me she can say whatever she wants because of freedom of speech. This is how they think. They just want to do what they want to do, and nobody should say anything. Again, the guy didn't have to shoot him. I'm not saying the guy should have shot him. The guy could have gotten up and went about his business too. But everything happened in chronological order, and everything you do has consequences. If you go to the left, you're opening opportunities for something to happen. And if you go to the right, you're opening opportunities for something to happen. every time you take a step, you make a decision, something is going to happen. It could be good, it could be bad. So you have to think about the things you do. And one of the guys, I think it was the Uber guy who said that on the panel, on Oshay panel, I just remembered. I think it was the Uber guy that said this dumb shit. He said that the parking space was only going to be used for maybe like 30 seconds or something like that. And the maximum charges are, the most you probably get charged for parking in a handicapped parking space is like $30 or something like that. That's so, he is saying, with him saying that, he's showing that he doesn't respect the law either. That he believes you can park where you want and just pay the money and pay this or pay the fines. And just ignore the signs. And there's another sign here. You know what this sign says? This sign says, no standing. No standing. Anytime. That's why nobody's here. Park here. But if it was that female, you know what she would have done? She would have parked here because she thought she could park wherever she wants to park. The black community is over. I'm sorry to tell you guys. It's finished. It's done. Because these people on YouTube are real people. They're not robots. It's real people with real thoughts, real behaviors from real communities out here in society. YouTube is just a reflection of what's happening in Jamaica, in America, in England, in the Caribbean, in black communities, in white communities, in pink communities, in Martian communities, whatever. It's real people up on here. I'm not defending that guy getting shot. I'm not defending it. No, I'm not. Because there are lots more guys out here like him who think they can go around and just shove people or slap people because they're tall and they go to the gym and they have these bulky arms and they're protecting their women. I'm not defending that. The guy should not have. The guy didn't have to shoot him. He didn't have to shoot him. We can all agree with that, but he did. And that's a lesson that should be learned, that you guys should not put your hands on people who did not put their hands on you. So I'm not defending this guy. I'm not defending him. People could be upset all they want. I'm not defending him. Stop shoving people, stop slapping people, stop putting your hands on people who did nothing to you physically. That's all I have to say. I'm out.